Hello again, everyone. We are back with Speed4 TLC, raising money for Transgender Law Center. Thank you so much for helping us raise over $4,500 for the Transgender Law Center. We're going to go right into our next run here. Yeah, if you can just give us 1 second here. Looks like we're having some tech issues here, so I think we might be back in just a minute here. Hello, everyone. We are going to fix that tech issue real quick. This has happened before. We know what we're doing. Tech is on it. So, in the meantime, I'm going to let you know that we just got a $25 donation to the Transgender Law Center from Caro, who was our last runner. So that's $25 saying, thought I'd top it off. Thank you for having me and helping me persevere through tech issues. Dono goes to the secret showcase. Next stop, 5K. Wonderful. Thank you so much for Caro. Thank you so much, Caro. And yeah, that was really awesome job persevering through that. That did go to the Orbo's Odyssey Secret Showcase, which is going to be coming up very soon in the next run after Peglin. We have raised $68 toward that, so we need 150 total, so we're less than $100 away from that. We also have a couple of bid wars open. The Peglin bid war is going to be closing like any second here. And we also have a Super Monkey Ball bid war. I'm also getting word from our math department that we are exactly $82 from the Orbo's Odyssey Secret Showcase. So thank you for crunching those numbers there. If you're just joining us, this is Speed4 TLC. So we're raising money for the Transgender Law Center. And if you've never heard of Speed4 before, that is because Speed4 is a brand new speedrunning group. So, obviously, you can follow us here on Twitch if you haven't already. You can also follow them on Blue Sky or join their Discord. And if you missed anything from the past couple of days, the VODs from all of the runs for this marathon are going to be on YouTube at Speed4SR. So to get those links, I'll actually go ahead and type it in chat. So we've got !socials. So that'll give you the links to Blue Sky, Discord, and also !YT. That's going to give you the YouTube link. So go subscribe to that if you want to get the VODs of anything you missed from this marathon. Because I know, marathons are long. You can't see everything you want to see all the time. Yeah. So this event, another thing about this event is that the tech for this event is being supported by Speedrun Tools UK, or STUK for short. STUK is a new endeavor from our tech lead, Nick RP Green, to provide a complete marathon package and event support, whether that's for brand new marathons like this one or for older marathons looking to optimize their workflow. Most of what you're seeing happening on this stream is automated, so there's no complicated to-do lists, just audio balancing and a couple of button presses to switch scenes, start the timer. STUK's package includes a custom Node.cg workflow, layouts, automated volunteer schedules, forms, pre-written guides, and even a games committee voting workflow. So if you're interested in learning more about that, check out nickrpgreen.com/STUK. I believe we have a chat command for that one as well, STUK. So there you go. If you want more information about that, just checking in on things. I see Tech is hard at work on getting this resolved, so we will be along very shortly with that. And yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. If you want to donate toward that Orbo's Odyssey incentive or toward any open bid war, you can type !donate in chat, or I believe it's also the pinned message with the link. So you can find that at any time. You will have to get your donations counted toward the incentives. You can get a poll and a target, but you have to select them both manually before you check out your donation. So a Tiltify will come up, you can select a poll, you click the target tab, you select target, and then it will show like you've selected this target, you've selected this poll, and then there's a checkout button. So make sure you select those things before you check out, and then you enter your payment information as usual, that sort of thing. It's pretty straightforward. You just have to make sure to look out for those target and polls so that you can have your donation counted toward the incentives. Yeah, we very much appreciate the energy shown going to the tech team, and we appreciate all the love that we've been getting for this marathon. You know, again, this is a brand new marathon being put on by Speed4 to raise money for the Transgender Law Center, which is a cause that is very important right now and that we're all very passionate about. If you're not familiar with them, Transgender Law Center is a multidisciplinary organization that advances the movement for transgender and gender nonconforming people using an integrated set of approaches, including strategic litigation, policy advocacy, educational efforts, movement building, and the creation of programs that meet the needs of transgender and gender nonconforming communities. So anyway, we're going to be getting to that run in just a little bit because the tech issues have been resolved. So I will see you all in just a moment with our next run, which is Peglin. So stick around. Hello again, everyone. We think, defeated the tech gremlins, at least for the time being. So we're gonna roll right back into things here. Bystander Tim, running Peglin, take it away whenever you're ready.
Hi, everybody. You saw a blurry version of me 3 seconds ago, but I'm Bystander Tim, and I'm here with the inaugural, not real, Tim Runs Cool but slightly shorter games block. I am, of course, joined by my good buddy Big Law, who stepped up to be present. Give the people a hello, Big Law.
Hello, yes, I am in fact here. Last time you heard me, I was opening the marathon and being a sad sob person because we raise money for charity, and we're doing so good right now. Speaking of, we're doing charity right now. We're doing speed runs, and we got Tim here doing a Peglin speed run. There's also a bid war for this speed run. So, Rujisu, tell us, who are we gonna be playing as today?
I think I know who we're playing as. Is Baladin winning?
It is Baladin.
Cool.
So thank you so much. We got $82.45 toward that. Thank you all so much for donating to that.
All good. So why don't we go ahead and get started? Time's going to start when I hit play, and we're going to count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't have Crucible on. Let's go. All right, so every run of Peglin starts off with the choice between 3 relics here. We're actually going to go ahead and pick the Refilibuster here. What do you think the Refilibuster does, Big Law?
Well, if it's anything that I understand from today's modern politics, is that you're just gonna be taking up a lot of time.
Kind of. So, the main mechanic here of the Refilibuster is that if you notice, the board looks quite a bit like a certain other Peg-related game called Peggle. But the way that Peglin works is that this is a deck builder roguelike where instead of, playing cards or auto-battling or something like that, you are shooting and hitting pegs. And what the Refilibuster does is that that whenever you hit a refresh in order to refresh the board, because unlike Peggle, you're not solving everything when you clear the board once. You're going to do equivalent damage to however many pegs you refreshed. I wanted to go left there, but we couldn't go left. But with that, of course, we are playing as the Baladin because the lovely people at home donated for it. What the Baladin is good at is using a mechanic called Bulwark, which Bulwark is sort of like an armor equivalent. As you can see, there's this fancy little number up here. Essentially, it is like damage insurance. It's extra health compared to other stuff. So we're just moving along here. Every time I win a fight, I get the choice between 3 orbs as well as the ability to upgrade. And we're going to be using that real quickly here to try and find some specific pegs or some specific orbs in order to augment our build as best as we can. Of course, like any other deck builder roguelike speedrun, we are looking for as minimum combat as possible. So we're also working on upgrading our spheres here. That way we can... How did I hit that?
That's just the way things go in Pachinko roguelike.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know whether to blame anything anymore on the fact that we are playing at 3x speed, and 3x has a teeny bit of physics issues, but the example I got during GDQ when I ran this there was that it was more akin to, like, the faster stuff moves. Some pegs have some orbs have some difficulty, but we're chugging along just fine here. We're not exactly seeing anything we want to see. But we're going to continue going left here. I think I'm actually going to go right here. Oh, I was talking in the break room about this, but if you've currently played the game recently, you might notice, this map's a little weird. In that the fun of running a game that is still continually getting updates is that stuff is just different. So it's always fun trying to roll with the punches here. we are pretty much set up as best as we can until we find some other orbs that we're going to be looking for here. Come on, get out of the way.
Please.
I'm for every 10 bulwark I gain, I get a must circle. That's cool. So we are trying to collect as many relics as we can. Of course, the optimal build for Peglin is like, there are 3 or 4 relics that are really, really difficult. Do I want that? I don't think I want that. That's a new relic. It looks like a crab claw, but essentially is that if you take that relic and you use a projectile, it will split the damage halfway. So instead of it being direct on one way, it'll hit both sides for half damage. But this is the slime boss here. The main gimmick of the slime boss is that it'll slowly start inching forward, and the pegboard is surrounded by a bunch of slime pegs here that will slowly start to, or that when I throw an orb in there, they're going to slow down the orbs, and then once I get inside, it's going to start doing increased damage here. Luckily, we are playing the Baladin, which is pretty easy in terms of keeping everything on track here. We have a semi-slow kill here, but nothing too bad. And we're good. Rare? Bad. Ooh. I'm going to take the Curse Mask here. What the Curse Mask here is a relic that gives me a debuff. It spins my circle around, but I also get +2/+4. But, Alice, why don't we get a quick donation here since we're in between acts?
Yeah, so just want to give you an update. We have an incentive for your next run, so that's Orbo's Odyssey, the Secret Showcase. We're currently at $68 out of $150 for that one, so we're $82 away. So we can easily make that. Did you want to tell us a little bit about that incentive and why everybody should donate toward it?
Definitely. As soon as I stop missing my shots. So Orbo's Odyssey is like one of, if not my favorite indie games of all time. It is an extremely fast-paced 3D platformer, and because of that nature, there's a lot of stuff in the game that is like really difficult to touch on, and that includes quite a bit of secrets. So I gave in the in-between, but there's stuff like a secret room full of ducks. There's the dev room. There's a bunch of like alien relics everywhere that deal with things about like with Orbo's boss, who is secretly working with these aliens in order to stay like in charge of the universe forever. The dev room talks about how the game connects with the developers' other games as well. There's just a whole bunch of awesome stuff that you could potentially see here. And right now, I can guarantee that there's no RNG compared to this, which we are not having a good time. We are seeing quite a bit of the new unique maps, though, because I haven't done as much practice as I would like with the new layouts and everything, so we're all getting surprised all together here. But that being said, it is so cool getting to run games like this that are consistently changing and like adapting. It's probably one of my favorite things about being a roguelike speedrunner specifically, is that very rarely do you have to change your perspective on game knowledge here. We did get a domesticated bat trap. That's cool. Peglin. Peglin has like this trading card system that is part of the bestiary. All right, let's go shop. We're not. I guess we'll grab that. We'll grab that. We're gonna grab this. We're gonna try and thin out our deck as much as possible here because we want to work towards having some specifics here. But we're fighting with a bare minimum here.
Yeah, there's some upgrades that Tim would want to be grabbing, and one that he could potentially get is the heavy chip, which is a bit of a gamble, so to speak. it basically just multiplies the amount your ball's gonna do depending on where it lands at the bottom of the screen. But it's all hypothetical at this point. We just gotta wait and see if we can get it.
Yeah, so as Big Law mentioned, I could just kind of talk about the optimal build since it seems like we're not going to be getting it. So, one of the few things that we're looking for is that there are a couple boss relics that can really change things up. One of them is the Molten Mantle, which the effect that the Molten Mantle uses is... The effect that the Molten Mantle uses is that in exchange for not being able to get money, like I'm doing currently right now with hitting on the board, instead every 3 money pegs you hit on screen, you're going to do your orb's current damage. So that works really well with things like the gambling chip that Big Law just mentioned, because it instead turns your money capability into damage, but it also allows you to scale up and deal damage rather consistently. We're gonna take one more hit here. The other thing is any multi-ball relic here. The pretty easy one is the Matri Orchka Ball. We are gonna get out of here by the skin of our teeth. Okay. Send me your good vibes, chat, because things are not going all too well. We're gonna grab that. I need health. We're gonna grab that. Alright, so we had the Pigment of Imagination here. The mechanic here is that they're gonna slowly start making these paintings on the wall, and whenever these paintings are fully alive, they're gonna slowly start taking away the ability to directly break pegs. So instead, they're going to be... like, they're still able to be hit, but a lot of builds tend to break around not being able to break pegs as well. So as you can see, I broke one of those paintings, and we got the ability to break orbs back. I'm debating whether or not we have enough time for a second run here, unless I get enough. I'm actually going to make an executive decision to restart here. We still have plenty of time for that estimate, but I started with Crucible, so we're just going to restart.
Yeah, that build was just...
Oh, that was the bare minimum. All right, so...
It's going out hiking with a tarp and that's it. Like, you need more than that.
So true. We already have a significantly better layout here. So, everything is going to be on the test, Big Law. What did you learn from that last run?
That we need things, and you didn't get things.
We need things, and we did not get them. We did start with the Strange Brew here. The Strange Brew is pretty good, because every time I hit either a refresh or a crit orb here, it's going to count multiple times. But on these initial runs here, we're going to mainly be working with, like, our bombs here. We're still going to go ahead and try and upgrade that sphere, which is going to be pretty good, and I went shot off into the fire there. We're going to force a Pebble in here. We're still working to try and thin out our deck as much as possible. We are really thin right now, because that relic lets us trade one of our things. There's a strong monster behind here. Okay, well... Not exactly what I want to see, but we're going to be able to roll with the punches here, because we did go ahead and upgrade that sphere enough to pierce a bunch of enemies. We're also going to be hitting that. The upgrade for the sphere is very important because it allows for some early AoE, and it is incredibly powerful in the case of one upgrade immediately turns piercing one enemy into piercing 2, and then you can pierce 3 from there. So pretty much no difficulty here. We can clear out all these enemies right here. We're going to upgrade that to level 3. Pocket Watch is very, very cool. What Pocket Watch will do is that the longer my orbs stay in flight, it's going to accumulate damage. AoE plus damage is pretty much the solution to all my problems. So we're going to try and speed on ahead here. There's like some amount of ratio here for whenever I whenever I take a question mark, that it's pretty much guaranteed that the next one's going to be a combat. But we're still looking for as many question marks as we can, because like we mentioned in the last run, I'm going to grab that ice circle here for another AoE. Unfortunately, the one issue is that with flying enemies, because they are flying, unless we have a very specific relic, the Peglin will aim up at it rather than direct on, so it makes piercing difficult. Luckily, there are some bombs in the middle of this arena here, which tend to help, and as I mentioned before, we are really we're trying to take advantage of as much AoE as possible. We're going to upgrade that ice circle to level 3. I shot a little early there, but we could go left here. We're going to upgrade our Pebballs. That doesn't really do a whole lot since we thinned out our deck. We're going to take another fight. This should kill. Cool.
Yeah,
so,
big damage.
Yeah, so we are in a quite better spot than we were last run. That doesn't do anything, but we're gonna get through it here. We're gonna get rid of our last Pebble. I bounced, and we're gonna fight an elite instead. So yeah, as you can see,
Well, that was easy.
yeah. As you can see, that stopwatch that pocket watch is helping out quite a bit in terms of our like damage scaling, because it is one of those cases of like little things just start to add up. Alice, I'm getting word from beyond that there's some love. So why don't, we're retreading a lot of the same ground, so why don't we get a few donations in?
Sure. So we got $10 from Ivan saying, Timothy Timerson, I bless you with the multi-mantle on your next upgrade. I'm gonna use that as a tongue twister in the future. We got $2 from Musical Daredevil saying, go Orbo, get that bonus secret showcase. And actually both of those donations went toward the Orbo's Odyssey secret showcase.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we're at $80 for that, so just 70 to go. So we're more than halfway there.
And we are definitely going to be zooming a little bit quicker here. Do I want to go over here? I think I do. That should end up on a chest here. So that event there is a secret passageway. And essentially, I end up on the other side. We're doing a lot better here, so...
Yeah, we have just absolutely zoomed. We're basically back to right where we were.
Yeah. It took about 5 minutes compared to prior. We still have that same boss as before, but we do have quite a bit more damage, so we can at least scale a little bit quicker here. I'm gonna pop by the shop here because I can actually hit my shots. I'm gonna grab that filibuster here. And then I'm going to grab this chest right here. Duplication station's cool. It's not gonna help us out a whole lot, but multi-balls are fun. I probably should have gone right here because there are 2 question marks there, but too late to think about that. So one thing actually that I did do with the filibuster is that I did pick up as my boss relic, it's Leaf the Rest for Later. What this does is instead of one refreshing every peg on the board, it's gonna refresh like 80%. 80%, or it's what? There are 10 additional refreshes, but they each only refresh 8% of the board. But that being said, they're gonna scale pretty quick. Yeah, they're gonna scale quite a bit quicker with the filibuster. Because the filibuster does, I think it's 1 damage per...
1,000 damage on that one. Like, we're just slicing through this boss already, and we're we have gone too fast here, frankly.
I think I wanna do that. But yeah, so now we're at Act 3. Why don't we get one more donation if you have them, Alice, and we'll try and finish this run.
Yeah, so we're as I said, we are at $80 toward that Orbo's Odyssey Secret Showcase. We also have a bid war open for Super Monkey Ball Deluxe, and currently Baby is in the lead with $18.11.
Let's go, Baby.
Gon is slightly behind, but you can also put your donation toward II or Mimi, and you can remember, if you donate, you can donate toward both the showcase and the Super Monkey Ball bid war. So we got a 2-for-1 going now. You just !donate, go to the link, make sure you select both the target and the poll, and you can put your money toward both. So get a little bit of extra mileage out of it.
Yeah, very well said. You can double down on your influence on this marathon with one donation. So do get those in.
I'm now noticing that I picked up a thing that has anti-synergy, which is super fun and super cool. So the thing I'm thinking about right now is that the boss relic I got from the second act boss was, oh, Gambit Chip. All right, let's go gambling.
Let's go gambling.
So the thing I'm worried about right now is I got a thing called the gift that keeps on giving. What that does is essentially it will essentially the gift that keeps on giving gives all the pegs a durable status, which means they take 3 hits to break. Instead of that, I got this last run. Bye-bye, Ice Circle. We now have 1 orb in the deck. So, as you can see on the board, like we were talking about in the previous run, now that we have the gambling chip, there are these designated zones on the side here. What this will do is essentially, if I land in a spot, it'll double all the damage there, which if we get any of our multi-ball procs, which we have a couple ways of getting multi-ball, they will start to multiply. And the direct word from the dev that I know for sure is that this number is exponential. In practice, I got a run that had, I forget what exactly it was. I could pull it up in a second right here. It was, I think, it was, for any Balatro fans out there, it was E to the 8. So I had quite a bit of damage here, but we are getting a little taste of what is available. We have 1 more. We're gonna attempt to dodge, and for those keeping time is going to happen right after I click continue on the results screen, right after I kill the final boss. We're gonna pierce through 1 of them right there. We're gonna knock out the first 2, and we have a nice one multi-ball. This guy has 80 health. Cool. Good.
Hey, so long as it's not 0, that's all that matters.
I mean, yeah, you know, the fight's not over until the last person goes down or something like that, you know? But this guy is going to keep us a little bit on edge here. And we just beat the boss. Time.
GG.
So yeah, we got a little bit of the ebb and flow, some of the Peglin love here. This is a fantastic game. It's also a pretty great speedrun because you really just kind of need to get to know some of the game mechanics as well. But yeah, so you're gonna be seeing me in just a few moments. So why don't we take it over, get that transition started. Keep raising money for the Transgender Law Center. Y'all are doing wonderful. And I'll see y'all in a moment. Thank you so much.
Orbo.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. See you in a minute.